Broadcasting live from the mixed-up world of Hyrule, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament 2023. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is Tracy M. Tracy M., how you doing?
Doing fantastic, Bob. How are you?
I am doing just great. We've got the second race in round 2 between Humbugh and PlasmaKappa, who, as always, is asking for some help.
That is what PlasmaKappa does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we got fad keys. So fake, mostly 80.
Yeah. So
mostly, maybe that's what it should be called. Mostly 80, right?
Yeah, I've always said that the way it's said, faux all dungeons key sanity, the faux should really be after the all dungeons. So it really should be all dungeons faux key sanity, because
I think that's fair. It's still all dungeons, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing all the dungeons. Oh, we were just talking about the hook shot a minute ago.
I like an early hook shot.
I mean, we don't need to get into details about the recent discovery with the hook shot.
No, I'm not talking about that here and now. People can go to the main Discord and see what that's all about. Although we did see PlasmaKappa working on it in the pregame. Yeah.
Oh, that's a very... I was like, what is this MSU? And then someone typed it in chat. I was like, oh, okay. That's a thing.
Okay, so fad. The fad is the GT big key will be in GT, and the Castle Tower small keys will be in Castle Tower, right. Which I'm not a fan of, because then why are we doing Castle Tower if we can't get items there? But it's all dungeons, so we're doing Castle Tower. I almost hope for a required Dark World Agassiz. Oh, okay, so here we go. We got a required Agassiz. Now I don't mind doing Castle Tower. This is fine.
We have an Agassiz for sure this time. Now, for all we know, it could be a hot minute before we even get Aga access. We could easily get Dark World access before we need that, yeah.
That could be our intended mitts. Oh, and yeah, both runners finding out we got bombs on the Buzz Blobs, which is really nice because now we don't have to think about bombs. Humbugh has farmed 3. Oh, early flute is nice too. Which is about what you need to do all the things in Kakariko, and then hopefully you have money to buy bombs. PlasmaKappa only with 2, gonna hope for a bomb in some chest or another.
Alright, we've got a big heart sitting here in the Lost Woods hideout. Honestly, at this point, I would be tempted to bail for a minute and go to South Shore. On account of, one, I've got the hook shot, so I can deal with Mini Moldworm Cave pretty easily. But with that 80 rupee tree pull, that would change my mind backwards. So
yeah, well, Humbugh didn't get the 80 rupee tree pull. I'm guessing that was the tier 2 tree pull, although I didn't see for sure if Kappa took any damage. But that's going to help him out in Kakariko. Won't have to worry about bottle vendor money. And likely we'll be able to buy more bombs. A Humbugh at 4 rupees is a little bit tighter. We get 50 for free in these checks, but that still would leave him at 48 short if we don't get any other rupees. And the thing about this mode is rupees are, I mean, they're not actually more scarce, but they're more spread out because of the dungeon items that can be in the chests here. But we got bombs, so that's at least something that the runners won't have to worry about now.
They're so spread out that oftentimes when I'm playing keys, I will go ahead and just do a hula hand from the start.
Yep, you do see that. Some people will do that, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a good move. I'm clearly not in this tournament.
It's a good move when it's a good move. How about that?
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes a difference.
Important point from our tracker there. It's not that bad to come back here when you've got the flute.
Yes. Just don't forget that you didn't do it. We do get a sword, which is nice, and an early moon pearl.
Yep. Just making it that much more likely that we can get that Dark World access without that glove.
Yeah, I like that early pod big key, that early Eastern big key. I like less because we don't have a bow to actually finish the dungeon yet. And the game might be telling us that we need to go into Eastern twice because of that big key. But I like the pod big key early because once we do go into pod, it's nice to know you won't have to do 2 hammer jumps to get that big chest. Whenever you get in there, if you have 2 small keys, you can get all the way to the back. And there is our first glove.
Yep, glove number 1 acquired.
So yeah, those are mitts sitting on the lumberjack ledge. Yeah, that Podby key is nice early. Now, if we find Boho, now I'm really happy to have that Eastern big key, because you just do Eastern. Yeah, we'll have to do dark rooms, but not that big a deal here.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern, kind of nice in keys mode in the sense that there are no actual chest small keys in Eastern.
Right. Now, with that big key, it does give us a little bit of an incentive to go to Eastern. Just, that gives us 5 checks instead of 4.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't like it.
But yeah, not enough incentive to really want to go.
Yep, exactly.
Though, yeah. So we did just see a second sword out of the back of the tavern here. So that's leading us toward that Aga play, which, if you were, absolutely nuts, you could totally go for the lampless Aga play.
There's absolutely no reason to rush Aga without a fire source. Doing it without a first of all, we don't have boots to actually get the other glove.
Right.
Blue mail's nice.
I'm not going to complain.
This is actually a classic example of an item that you pick up if you blind check this, and an item that you don't pick up if you scout it. So it's kind of nice that both runners are going to get it. But yeah, the early Aga play doesn't make sense until you have at least some sort of fire source and boots. Dark Aga is no joke. Trying to do that is very difficult, and you need a fire source to beat the game anyway. So what does it really get you? Now, Fire Rod Aga, on the other hand, is pretty trivial. If you know where the torches are, you can get through pretty quickly with the Fire Rod.
Yeah,
nice. We get a bottle right after.
It's only the 2 rooms that those torches are in that can really give you any navigational trouble.
Right. The hard rooms are the ones that have the torches. The easy rooms don't, and because those easy rooms don't have torches, it's never in logic to actually use the Fire Rod. But if you're getting an item and you have the Fire Rod, yeah, I see no reason to wait on it if you want that item. Love mini Multorm with sword beams. Odd small. Flippers. We have no money, so don't know if we're going to Zora or when we're going to Zora, but we do have flippers to put it in logic. Actually, the glove already did that, but...
I was playing Archipelago-based multi-world the other day, and I saw one very nice change, was that you could go to Zora and he would tell you what he would sell you for 500 rupees, and you had the option as to whether or not to pay for it.
That wouldn't be a bad change. Of course, it would lead to double dips, so just as many double dips potentially, because, hey, I go there and it's something I need. Okay, well, I don't have any good farms, and I've already wasted my whole hand. Fire Rod and Ice Rod Cave for Humbugh, and looks like PlasmaKappa skipped that, so...
that's very interesting.
Easy to get back there, but that's not ideal.
In before Ice Rod in the big chest of Skullwoods. Just to
really make these nasty.
The flip-flop. The flip-flop vanilla situation.
Now, it wouldn't surprise me if PlasmaKappa is waiting on that check to pair it with Zora with money.
So you remember how you said you don't have to, in these modes, you don't have to worry about the Hyrule Castle map in Hyrule Castle?
Yep.
Well, that just happened anyway.
Of course. Why not? Speaking of Hyrule Castle, PlasmaKappa's gonna head over there. Doesn't know that this is actually in logic from the... Oyster Dark Cross is in logic. The 2 chests going down are not in logic without the small key, because we can use small keys in bad ways. Get another tree pull with useless rupees, or near as such.
Alright, so PlasmaKappa is now checking the uncle, while Humbugh did pick up the Turtle Rock small key there, or a Turtle Rock small key from the old man.
Oh, those are important. We hard require 3 of them, and logically required all 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna see East Death Mountain from Humbug, which is a very dense area that usually has something, but you know, like Hype Cave, sometimes will disappoint us.
So I know this isn't what this is, but this music right now is reminding me of Press Your Luck. Big money, no whammies. Stop. And now I'm thinking of the guy who watched the show so much that he memorized the light pattern and won like $100,000 some odd dollars.
Oh yeah, that was the thing that happened.
Anyway, speaking of $100,000 some odd dollars, there's a little more money.
We're getting closer. I mean, with Fire Rod, if we want to rush Aga, we could. Again, I don't think you do until you have the boots.
Yeah,
but you don't wait for the lamp here. You don't wait for the lamp here, I don't think. The Fire Rod strats are easy enough.
Right.
Lamp would be very, very deep, and those mitts are valuable. But yeah, get your boots first, because no point in doing a slightly harder Aga play when you can't get the item behind it anyway.
You're saying if you find the boots first, absolutely just go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's no reason to wait for the lamp. You want those mitts. Plus, it gets you your Dark World access. The hookshot gets you to the west side of Hyrule, so or Dark World if you like. Okay.
Yeah, we did see a sword there on the floating island, which would be another thing that the mitts would lead you to.
Yeah, mitts would help you get that. We would need a mirror as well, but we're gonna get that at some point anyway.
But I mean, you're gonna want to go to Hookshot Cave anyways once you get those mitts.
Yep. I mean, you might see the runners skip it if it ends up being Gold Sword, depending on what part of the seed we're in. Gold Sword doesn't save that much time in terms of like a Ganon fight, but it does save time on a Trinex fight. It saves time on a Cold Stare fight. Depending on the rest of your equipment, can save time on a Vitreous fight. And we are going to see PlasmaKappa navigate these dark rooms. These dark rooms aren't too bad. As long as you have a little bit of health and a way to kill the snakes in this room or avoid them.
Yep. The hook shot will one-shot the snakes, but the sword beams and everything also provides a little more visual cue about what the heck's going on. So
exactly. In fact, typically when I do this, like if I were Humbug with the Fire Rod here, I usually don't even use the Fire Rod until I get into that last room. And that just makes it, and even that isn't really necessary, just makes it a little bit easier to actually locate the chest, I find.
Alright, so PlasmaKappa now fluting away. I'm assuming this is going to be some of the one-off checks.
Yeah. Oh, no, we're going to do Mountain first.
Of course, I forgot PlasmaKappa hadn't done Paradox Cave.
Yeah, so both our runners missing something that I think they're both going to get back to. So Humbug is going to have to get back to that glove over at Kakariko. Didn't have the money for Bottle Vendor. Not really concerned because you have the flute to get back to it anytime you want. Probably is trying to wait until actual semblance of Dark World access, which that glove is going to be needed for Dark World access unless you do Aga, in which case you're just going to get it at some point later anyway. The Fire Rod is a little more concerning for PlasmaKappa. It's at Ice Rod Cave. With the flute, it's not uncommon for runners to leave that for a little bit later. PlasmaKappa will be really close to Zora money. Actually, might actually be at Zora. There's a 300 in Paradox Cave, which puts him within 16 rupees. There's got to be a 20 that we didn't
there is
pay
another
attention
20
to because of 20.
there,
yeah, so he'll be within Zora money. So it's, often you'll pair Ice Rod Cave in with that check. Ideally,
go ahead.
Yeah, ideally you'd have boots when you pair that, because you can get a water walk to make things a little bit faster. But yeah, I don't think you don't wait for that.
No, it also occurred to me, there's that whole Eastern thing that nobody's done.
Yeah, I think no one wants to do Eastern here.
But I mean, you compare you add it with Sazrala, that's 8 checks. It's not a small number of checks.
It's a very dense location. We'd really like to have a bow first game, please. The game often doesn't listen to those pleas, so it might still force us. And Humbug might get there relatively soon, because I feel like that might be a little more enticing than a one-off check over at the bottle vendor. Whereas, and both runners have Zora still. We haven't actually done that, but now they have Zora money, so it makes that a little more enticing. I love those almost useless Ice Palace Smokies. Good to have one. The logic only requires one. But you want to have one in case just in case you have to dip Hammerless Ice with a Cane of Samaria, and you won't get soft locked when you go too far down the icebreaker route.
All right, so PlasmaKappa checking that sword as well.
Looks like we're getting a Death Warp out of Dark Frost from Humbug. That Fire Rod makes it a lot easier. Yeah, Humbug's just saying, I've got the fire, I'm just doing this now. I still think you wait on the boots. But, in Humbug's case, it's a little more likely to his mind that this is for Dark World access as well, because he doesn't have those gloves.
Right.
You're gonna have to do this anyway. You only lose a little bit of time without having the boots. It's just you don't. The big thing is you actually cannot get your boots yet. You actually can't get that glove yet because you don't have the.
There's also a little bit of, there's a few locations you can actually, access the Dark World as well. So with those,
get some Dark World access faster, and that's and that might be
the pyramid. You could go over to Pod if you really wanted to. Oh, Swamp Smoky, what's up?
That's important. Of note, though, Kappa didn't go to Ice Rod Cave before this, so that Fire Rod's still going to be eluding him for a little while longer, and that's a little scary.
Rip.
There's our lamp.
Yikes.
So now when you're talking about a complete in logic castle tower,
yeah,
with your other choices being Eastern that you can't complete, makes a little more sense. The Humbug making use of that green bottle is gonna refill that magic to get through these rooms faster.
Then again, this lamp also puts an extra check in Eastern in logic, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going to Eastern, you're not skipping that extra check for sure.
Of course not.
With Flute, though, it wouldn't be unreasonable to do. There's a couple one-off Flute checks that you can do. The Aegina check, the Ice Rod Cave. We'll see if Kappa heads straight to Aga here. Yep, gonna head straight to Aga. At this point, it looks like the game wants us... Yeah, this is like the trifecta. It wants us to do Aga for Dark World, it wants us to do Aga for the item, and it wants us to do Aga because that's the rule of the mode.
Yeah. I mean, we had a similar thing yesterday in the seed I commentated, where it looked like it was going to be a required Aga seed for Dark World access, but it turned out it wasn't, actually. It's just... It seems so very likely.
Yeah, the game likes to do that, and most of the time, if it looks like an Agaseed and smells like an Agaseed, it's going to be an Agaseed. Every once in a while, the game will fool you. Yeah, I definitely worry about PlasmaKappa and the Fire Rod. I less worry about Humbug and the Bottle Vendor as long as he hasn't marked it off in his mind that I've already done that, because I've been to Kakariko and I've done all the Kakariko things. It's kind of a natural thing to do.
I'm pretty sure if Beethoven was alive today, he would have put slap bass in the Fifth Symphony.
And I wasn't counting blue balls, but if anybody in chat is,
I think we're on 2.
that's not too bad. See what's on the ledge. We have hookshot to get to the west. It's a very chill Dark World music. Humbug says no to the heart container.
You're going to find me hard-pressed to not take that.
Yeah, Catfish might become an interesting location now, because Humbug can't do it.
Yeah.
We'll see if Kappa chooses to do it. Also, it sucks when he has to do this by going through the water. So it's a shame we don't have the mirror to do some of these extra checks. Although the mirror is kind of a double-edged sword here. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to just rock Graveyard Legend right now. It's never more convenient than it is right now. But then you also get the save and quit to the pyramid from the Dark World that sometimes you actually want, but most of the time takes you by surprise because it's.
I guarantee you, every single time I do AGA 1 and have the mirror, I'm gonna be accidentally saving and quitting there at least once.
Yep. Leisure Suit Larry is what Humbug is calling this this MSU pack to answer chat. And Humbug is going to immediately do the Skull Woods area. This is full clearable, so no reason not to do it right now. I shouldn't... No, okay, not full clearable, but full beatable. The big chest is going to be a one-off that will turn into a fetch quest if we don't... Assuming we don't find the big key somewhere in this dungeon, which, you know, there's... I mean, it can happen. PlasmaKappa not going to be able to clear this this dungeon though. No fire rod to finish it off.
Now, Humbug can finish the dungeon, like you were saying, or at least can finish the boss, and that's assuming, or that's probably what's going to happen here.
Yeah, nice.
6 hearts, Master Sword. It's okay.
Cool mail. Yeah, this is fine. You have fire rod shots as well that you can use. We did get an earlier small key, so the like Skull Woods logically requires 3 small keys. Practically requires none. But if you don't have any to get some of the checks in the front, you have to drop down the hole. If you want to still be able to get to the boss. But since we have a small key, we don't have to worry about that. So Humbug is going to want to get the Gibdo key in the back, unless he wants to skip those locations. And we are going to see Catfish from PlasmaKappa. And we're about to fight Moth. We'll have about 3 fire rod shots, and we have a Master Sword.
I mean, this is some true clown music here.
Small key to Misery Mire. That is not the small key you want to find at Catfish, because we don't technically need any small keys to beat Mire. 1 is good for routing.
But I seriously doubt even the routing you make up there is going to, like, make up for the time it took to get to Catfish.
Not even close. And you're probably going to find another one anyway.
But we did find the big key to Turtle Rock over on Moth there.
Well, Kappa won't be able to miss that, but he will miss it for now because, again, no fire rod. I'm not sure when he gets back to that ice rod cave at this point. And there could be a point where you just say, I'm going to do all these little one-offs, which would be that, and neither one is done in Gina. But Gina also gets paired with like desert and stuff, so that one's a little less of a one-off. Now we're going to get the front of Skull Woods. We get a Quake medallion that we don't know if we need. We will need at least one. Big key to ice.
Aha.
So yeah,
ice,
both
big
runners.
key.
Yeah, both runners going to be in the front of Skull Woods at the same time. We'll see if Kappa decides to do the middle check. Can't, of course, do the back. Humbug setting up for a death warp. Our second bottle. Or maybe our third. It's another bottle.
Alright, so with that, Humbug going to leave the Skull Woods area and head south to the village of Outcasts.
Yep. And nice that we don't actually have the big key to Thieves Town to tempt us into the back.
So again, I know this isn't what this is from, but now I'm thinking of Persona 5.
And that 50 rupees will be good for PlasmaKappa because Pod could be in the offing relatively soon. Is going to need, and of course the dig game coming up too, so going to need some money for some things.
I didn't know that Blinds or the Thieves Town was an old-timey saloon.
I know, right?
And if you want to know what weird game I'm thinking of, or what game I'm thinking of now, you'll never guess. It's Final Fantasy VI.
There's an old arcade game where the goal is to serve beer by throwing the beers across the bar. I don't remember what it was called. And you have to do it fast enough that you like satisfied all the customers or something. Yeah, that's the game I'm thinking of right now.
I think it was called Tapper in some places, and it was called something else somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so past the first 4 chests of Thieves Town.
Yeah, chat asking that was it root beer? It was root beer, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm sure they used the root beer to satisfy all the parents that would be horrified of their kids playing a beer game.
And small key desert.
Another logically required small key. Could be hard required depending on if there's anything over there.
Yep, very true. You could always have vanilla big key. That would make that happen for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, but literally, there's it's a 2-item. It blocks 2 items, so we'll see if there's anything of use. And we're gonna do some digging. And both runners are going to want to make sure that they are cognizant of their rupee count. A little more so PlasmaKappa, because Humbug doesn't necessarily need to race over to Zora. But keeping it above 610 would be ideal. And PlasmaKappa keeping it above 110 would be ideal. And we get a shovel.
Well,
And we have no mirror to
Here,
check that
let me
shovel
bro-
immediately. That's annoying.
Here, why don't you take this shovel to go dig up the shovel I buried in the backyard?
Right.
Seems like a, bit of a overkill / oversight. I don't know why you're doing that.
Yeah, Paradox Digging Game Chat calling it. Stumpy with a small key to pod. That gives us... Is that just the first one or this? No, that's the second one.
Yeah,
So now 2 pod small keys gets us a lot of pod if we want to do it.
yeah, as well as the big key, so you can take care of the big chest as well.
Yep. It's a little bit nicer to have 3, so you have 1 in your pocket for beating the dungeon if Hammer and Bo decide to show up. But
We do have PlasmaKappa exactly 5 rupees short right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will change before...
I believe the stun prize is 20 rupees, so should be able to get it that way. Or
And
just
there's
gets it
20
from
in
high
high
pay.
pay.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
And another pod
There's
key,
pod
so-
3, yeah. So pod
Yeah.
feels like a pretty decent density play right now. And here's where you would actually want the mirror to be able to just save and quit to the pyramid, but we don't have that. Skull Woods and Tower of Hera are 5/6 crystals today. Humbug decides he doesn't care. And, there's definitely an attitude in this mode of, do I actually care what the dungeons are? Do I actually care to take the time to look? Because I have to do them all anyway. The most significant ones are your 5/6 and your green pendant. And to a lesser extent, all your pendants, just in case pet is a thing. And this is like the one mode where I actually think pet is a good thing. And Humbug gets his glove, so remembers to flute back there. And, pairing it with the bottle vendor. The sick kid makes sense. Get your bottle vendor and your sick kid. Sick kid has 20 rupees.
Alright, so yeah, PlasmaKappa is going back through the main portal here. Might be doing that pod play you were talking about.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other reason you'd be doing this, to be honest.
Right now, yeah. Humbug gonna clean up Zora. So now we're down to that one item that fire rod that Kappa has. Oh, sorry, that fire rod that Kappa's missing. And once again, the fairy is just giving us a B.
Bees! What's this? A randomizer seed woefully unpopulated by bees? A large influx of bees will put a stop to that. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, and Humbug has dipped below that 600 rupee mark. Gonna do Zora here and have only 66 rupees for pod, so he's gonna have to farm up a little bit to get up there. And now, after that, we're basically done with money needs unless the big bomb becomes a thing. And we're a little ways away from that. Because I probably should have grabbed that if pod was your next play, but there will be other places to get money. Does get the lamp, knows that Aga was probably Game, please,
Wow. Good
please,
job,
please.
Game.
Oh my god.
Bo in the first chest of pod. Get
we have
out.
a bow lock. We have a bow locked pod, but hey, we'll just get a bow from pod and it's fine. Actually, it's not bow lock pod because it's key sandy. We have small keys. That's still funny to have the bow there though. Bow and bow lock pod, yeah. Let's see if the other bow can actually show up in the actual bow lock portion of pod. Oh, Humbug hasn't done back of escape yet. It's the absolute garbage there. Although he's now only 4 rupees short of being able to pay for pod, so that's good.
Oh,
And a
mirror.
mirror. Wow, okay.
Wow, you were not kidding about pod being a big play here.
Yeah, I mean,
Good lord.
God.
Now the
If
problem
you
is this is gonna drive Plasma away from that ice rod game.
It is. Oh, yeah, the mirror is so dumb here. Mirror opens up a lot of things that we really don't want. It opens up swamp. We have swamp. We have the small key. We have the hook shot. We have flippers. We have mirror. Ugh.
Gross. I mean, you gotta do it anyway. Might as well.
And we'll probably get an orphan big chest because that big key opens exactly that location, and you hope it's just not required if you're doing swamp before you have it. Not even a logical big key.
So if I was going into swamp, given the new little setup,
and we need a hammer.
That we saw today.
We still need a hammer. It's not been approved yet, and I would not want to be.
Right. But what I might do if I were running this, what I might do is if I have the hammer, I do swamp normally, but I also do that just to show it off.
Well, I mean, it's a time save regardless of whether or not you have the hammer. So
well,
if it gets approved, it's just going to be the way you do swamp from now on.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, I go ahead, flood the thing like you're supposed to, so it wouldn't save me any time. I'd just do it for the exhibition.
Oh. Ooh, a sword in Agena. That would have been nice.
Very
Also,
well might not see that fourth sword picked
up. Funny part about that is that was available. Like Agassiz just often come in multiples. Like we had 3 swords available. We had cape.
Yeah, it wanted to hand you every single possible way you could want to get to Aga 1.
And teases you with the glove that we still can't get because we don't have boots. Which, a mitts now. They are mitts now because both runners do have their gloves. Humbugh is going to do some Eastern stuff before going into pod. Might just do Saha first and not bother with... because of where the mirror is, PlasmaKappa probably does that stuff right afterwards. Ice Palace Green Pendant.
Yeah. PlasmaKappa can actually beat Eastern Palace. What an amazing concept.
I know, right? I imagine we'll and did use. I didn't see which. I mean, okay. I think
it was
Harmless Hellway, which is the one that makes more sense. I might have saved that small key so that I don't have to worry about one for the boss. But there are 3 more out there, and 1 more will get you the boss, and 2 more.
I know
will get
some
you the boss
people
in
who, given the fact that you had the bow there, would have saved it. Yeah, you're right. My brain was thinking, no, I would have just gone to the boss. Wait, no, don't have the hammer. What's wrong?
No
with
hammer.
You?
I mean, I already forgot the hammer for swamp for us, so
Yeah, the only mode we have where the bows are non-progressive is the tournament open.
Yep.
Hard thing.
It'd be interesting to see if there was anything in Eastern, chat suggesting a hammer, which could have let us temporarily skip the Aga play, but we still want the glove on another pot small.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, if we get a hammer, we can just finish pod after this. If we don't get a hammer, Kappa could choose to go and do the big key chest. I don't like the second idea unless we get another pod small, because now getting down to 2 pod smalls gets a little scary. If that becomes your go mode item, you don't want that.
All right, Humbugh is about to get the fun news here. It's like, really? Yep.
I mean, I suspect both runners would have done some mimic clipping or potion camera unlock or some sort of way of getting the items anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But now you don't have to do
both
that.
Both runners, I believe, have a green potion on them, so... that's pretty trivial.
Did we skip big key
Plasma
chest?
Skipping the big key chest here?
Oh, that's pretty bold.
Good luck with that.
I mean, it sometimes works. Sometimes it bites you. The most interesting time when that happened was there was a race during SG Live. It was an early morning race, so a bunch of us were at breakfast watching on our phones, trying to figure out the out for the player that had skipped, I want to say Kana Samaria in Eastern Big Key Chest. Spoilers, it didn't work out for him. On the other hand, you know, it's like I don't know, maybe a 30-second time save if it's nothing, so... And if they both skip it, then we'll be sitting here wondering what it is for a long time. And you know, if it's something, we'll find out late, the last location. And if it's nothing, we'll just never find out what rupees or arrows or whatever is sitting there.
All right, another Turtle Rock small key on Armos.
Yeah, we need some more of those. That'll give us 2. I'm gonna pick up the bomb, walk over the mirror portal, because we can do that if we're holding something. And PlasmaKappa will check Saha.
Of note, that really only works with the mirror portal that you dropped. Doesn't work with the other portals.
Actually, I've never tried that, but that's good to know.
Or at least there are some portals for which it doesn't work, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see if Humbugh also decides to use an extra key here. Okay, where are we going, Plasma? So we got the mirror so we can do Hera. And we do have a hook shot to skip the big chest and skip the big key. Yeah, Humbugh also going to use that extra small key. I kind of like this because you don't really want to have to come back here for just one check, and since you're getting the big key, big chest anyway, once you've opened that door and gone through and done Harmless Hellway, you're never coming back to here, you know, which is nice.
Nice hammer jump there.
Mm-hmm.
And PlasmaKappa heading to Hera.
Yeah, you know, with three pod keys, the fourth one isn't that scary to have to worry about. It's the fifth one, and of course, if you really make mistakes, the sixth one.
Yeah.
Chat
we got
asking,
so many bottles, Plasma doesn't even want that fourth one.
I know, right? Chat asking, why is it called Hammer Jump? It's because it is a sequence break. Oh, hi, Boots. In the vanilla game that allows you to skip a key to get the hammer in pod. Because big chest is normally the hammer.
The usual contents of that particular chest is the hammer.
And we're gonna see Hera pot from Kappa, because I mean it's faster anyway. But we don't have the Hera big key.
Oh, importantly, he did just pick up the boots.
Yes, the boots were very important. Those boots are in logic. Oh, this is interesting. Just not even gonna do not even gonna do the available check and fall down. So it's just gonna leave Hera with just 2 items. We did see the basement cage item. I have no idea what it was, but it clearly was nothing since his compass shows that he didn't pick it up.
So I'm guessing that PlasmaKappa actually picked up that fourth pod key as well.
Yeah, he did. So now you're gonna go get your mitts. And then probably do boots checks into mitts. Could do it from the Dark World if you want to also get Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. That's a little bit slower since right now our only Dark World access is the Pyramid Portal. We'll see.
Alright, let's see. Now Humbugh is going for the big key chest.
Yeah, big moment. Those boots might also take him back to Ice Rod Cave. Not yet. He's a little bit faster to get there. We are going to get the sick kid check.
I imagine will be getting the mitts rather soon.
Yeah, I mean, I could see doing, like, I could see just going and getting them and doing bonk rocks as well, or I could see going into the Dark World, so you could pair up also King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge with it.
I mean, once you got the mitts, you could do King's Tomb without going Dark World, but
true, but you can't do
you can't do Graveyard Ledge yet.
Graveyard Ledge is completely orphaned now.
But,
what did we get there? I wasn't watching.
PlasmaKappa is doing quite a bit of. It didn't look like anything important. I think my brain would have registered.
TR map? Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw a text box. TR map, meaning we don't really care about maps in this mode. We have to beat every dungeon anyway.
Now, the mitts are right here. On the Lumberjack Ledge.
Yep, so now we'll do bonk rocks, probably do King's Tomb, and completely orphan Graveyard Ledge. Which is fine. Or we don't do those things. What are we doing? Oh, this could be Ice Rod Cave. Okay. This is really good for PlasmaKappa. Gonna get that Fire Rod.
I'm not sure what prompted PlasmaKappa to go over here all of a sudden.
I think it was the boots. This is just faster with boots.
Oh, yeah, that might be it.
And now we have kind of some awful choices. We have Hammerless Swamp. We have Hammerless Ice. We've already done Hammerless Pod. Most of it.
Honestly, my favorite play at this point is just East Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah. We have mirrors, so we can even get that sword. And Kappa didn't get the Tempered Sword over to Gina, so...
Oh, and you can combo this with a water walk over to our bridgeman.
Yes,
here,
yes, you can.
That makes plenty of sense.
That might be why he was waiting for the boots. Knew he was gonna get them anyway, so it makes a lot of sense. Needs to avoid that shallow water, because if you do a water walk with the boots and you run through shallow water, your water walk will go away.
Assuming you have the flippers, that's...
Yes, if you have the flippers. If you don't have the flippers, walk anywhere. Just don't walk on land. The Humbug also gonna do Hera. We'll see if he... I assume he will check the one chest that you can get to, and we'll see if that's important.
Alright, so with PlasmaKappa picking up that Fire Rod, it's very likely that he goes ahead and completes Skull Woods here.
Yeah, this is exactly what he's going for. It's not going to give him anything new to do, so, you know, Kappa's going to do Skull Woods, Humbug's going to do Hera, and when they're done, they're kind of going to be at equal footing.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised after this to see PlasmaKappa doing the north side of Dark World here with the
North Dark World,
boots.
Clean up the two boots checks and Graveyard Ledge, and then I think you're right. Dark Death Mountain seems like certainly the most dense play at this point to do.
What did you call me? No, I'm kidding.
Call you anything. Humbug with the boots, gonna do the boot setup for the Hera pot.
It does in fact look like our the view of our tracker might be a little bit borked right now. Might need the restream server to refresh that view of some sort. But I assure you that all of the items are being tracked properly. It's just they're not displaying at the moment.
Okay, Humbug. Looks like did check that other chest, and I didn't see what it was. I am failing at my job.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the tracking stuff just to make sure.
Hey guys,
See what was going on.
What's up?
Hey, Diesel Pilot. What's up with the tracker? You gonna refresh us?
Oh, there's an issue with the tracker?
Yeah, the tracker is updating on the back end. It's just not displaying on the front end.
Okay, just a moment.
And Humbug is going to do Catfish, which is just a a Meyer small key. Again, good for routing, not useful otherwise. And PlasmaKappa getting that much needed Turtle Rock big key that we can't do anything with right now.
And for those of you wondering what this MSU is, this is the MSU for the old
Leisure Suit Larry
game, which, say what you want about the content of that game, the music is pretty good.
This is pretty good music. Okay, where are we going, Plasma? We're going to 6. Okay, Meyer area. This makes sense. We can do most of the front of desert, everything but the big chest. We can look at the medallion requirement for Meyer. And we need bombos. And we get these other checks as well. Meyer Shed could give us something useful.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so there's King's Tomb, Desert Palace, big key.
There's a big key to desert in King's
Doesn't
Tomb.
Plasma wish he'd done that?
Yep. So that's gonna. It's not the worst ever. Because desert, the way it's kind of modular, you're gonna have to come back here for Meyer anyway. It might become a big deal if the big chest has something good for Humbug. Because he'll just be able to clear all of this stuff, and PlasmaKappa will leave one item behind in the big chest. And a small key to Turtle Rock might be relevant. Again, you need 3, you need only 3 practically, but you need 4 logically, unless the lava chest decides it wants to have something today.
In which case you need 4 actually.
Yep.
Alright, big key of Hera on the right side of desert.
That's funny, game.
Good job, game.
So logical double dip of Hera. And this will probably end with Kappa checking checkerboard cave.
Yeah, so it does appear that, like, when the tracker is updating, at least in the visuals, like, or at least it's saving what is being done, but it's not actually updating the visuals on the screen. So
yeah, we got our crack staff working on it. And Kappa gets that nice tempered sword. Might also now skip the floating island sword.
The new swamp, the new swamp coop is not legal yet, but basically it's very similar to Hera Pop. You're clipping through a rail using a hook-shotable object and ending up on the other side.
And Kappa is going to do Dark Death Mountain here. Let's see what's in this big chest. This could be significant, or it could be a small key to Turtle Rock. Okay, so that's 2 missing small keys for PlasmaKappa. He needs to get at least one of those for sure. We don't know where the 4th one is. Humbug says no to the blue boomerang.
PlasmaKappa finds yet another pod small key. That's going to put it at 5.
Yeah, can finish the dungeon as soon as we get a hammer.
You see what Turtle Rock's medallion is. That is Bombos.
Double bombos today.
Yeah. So I believe we all know that it's sitting in Ice Palace now.
Of course. Fortunately, we do have fire on.
Appears the normal
Okay, that's all the
means
pod
are-
smalls.
normal means of fixing the tracker are being a little obnoxious. So we'll have to figure this out. May end up having to restart the restream server at some point, but we will try to get this back, get the icons back online as soon as possible. In the meantime, we'll do our best to keep abreast of what items are available.
Yeah, and I was about to ask if Kappa was going to go finish up Tower of Hera, and we are going to see a second dip of Hera. For Kappa, this is 2 items, because he left an item. The small chest is near that big chest.
GT small.
Yep, which we already knew, and a map. So, not really huge payout there.
And we got the desert boss finished with a blue pendant.
Yep.
So, which, strangely enough, in this, that is vanilla. In the original game, this is the pendant of power.
Oh, we got Bombos up there. We're gonna get a Meyer die from PlasmaKappa. Missing 2 key items to finish this. We don't have the Meyer Big Key, and we don't have the Cane of Samaria. But this is still 6 items.
Yeah. That's the thing about keys, and especially the all dungeons keys. You're gonna be double dipping dungeons. You just gotta get used to that idea.
Yeah, you just try and do it as efficiently as you can. We did manage to get the single dip Eastern at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
so the pendant...
the missing big key for desert for PlasmaKappa is kind of looming large right now.
Yeah. Yeah, in the original Link to the Past, the pendant of power is the blue one, and the pendant of wisdom is the red one, which is inconsistent with a lot of the other games, but that is in fact the case. Even in the original Japanese, it's not a mistranslation.
I would say that the other ones are the inconsistent ones. This was the first one. Although, to be fair, I would associate red with power a little more. Maybe we got the Meyer Big Key at some point. Kappa's riding this like he has the Meyer Big Key. Let's find out. Oh, okay.
So at some point we will need to restart the restream service here in a second. So...
Yep, bear with us. Nice Hyrule Castle small, by the way. To put all those... I don't even remember what we got in Hyrule Castle, but it's now all in logic.
It was in the Hookshot Cave bomb chest.
Okay.
Bomb chest.
Bombos was there. Yeah, okay. I guess that last small key for Humbug. That's it for Meyer for PlasmaKappa.
Alright, we'll be restarting the service rather soon, so...
Yeah, and actually this does turn out
to
be... I mean, there's never really a good time for this, but this is as good as ever, because the runners are kind of back retracing things that each other has done. So Kappa's going to get the keys he needs, and Humbug will get nothing here in...
That's what I basically figured. Do not panic. I don't know if we're being heard on stream or not, but do not panic.
Can you hear us? Oh, hi everyone. We're still here.
Oh, you guys gotta stop quoting Sound of Silence to me because I will start singing and I'm not allowed to do that.
Oh, here we go. We're back. Okay, so Leo, looks like we didn't really miss much. Humbug's going into Misery Mire to find... I don't know that we got anything here. Kappa's finishing up his North Dark World check. Maybe chooses to go back into Desert to finish that up.
Did you know that we're likely to be eaten by a Gru?
Are we? Oh, no.
Apparently. Alright. PlasmaKappa now off to Desert again. Finish that off. Really no surprise here. But like you said, there's just a whole lot of, not fun options now.
Yeah.
All of them include hammerless thing you want to do with hammer.
Yep. Pod 6 is a very interesting temptation to go back to the big key chest. Maybe hammer's chilling there.
I feel like I'm doing Ice Palace before I do anything else, yeah.
Yeah, Ice Palace is definitely the densest location we can do because we can get to quite a few things without a hammer. We don't have a cane, so makes that even worse than it could be. And of course, Swamp Palace has 2 items we can get because we have the small key and no hammer.
Yep.
And yeah, we have smiths. Chat reminding us that there is that other annoying location. We do have the mirror, so smiths aren't terrible.
Right.
That's probably, now that I think about it, probably the next play, just because I have the mirror and because...
I mean, the downside with Smith Chain, of course, is that without the hammer, you're
orphaning hammer pegs.
Other things.
Yeah, you're orphaning hammer pegs, and you might never actually have to do it, whereas at some point you do need to go into those other 3, and if the hammer were just there, you could finish them.
And of course, Magic Bat is out of the question as well, but that's just its own thing. And of course, it's never fun to have to go into Ice Palace without the hammer, but in addition, going in without the Cane of Samaria is double ugly.
We have seen Dig Spot. I forget what was there, but I don't believe it was anything significant.
It was a piece of heart, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Kappa finishing up Desert about the same time as Humbugh is finishing up Mire, and I believe we're equal on checks again.
Yeah.
Yeah, might need to mirror first.
Basically, like, the only thing that PlasmaKappa hasn't really done is that one chest in Eastern.
Yep, and he's never going back there.
Yeah.
It's a definite last location, and since it's nothing, it's fine that it's the last location.
I honestly, I feel like PlasmaKappa is, feeling a little bit of the desperation here. He's down a game in this thing, and he's like, I need to make some gambles here. I need to, make some executive decision to not do some checks that are going to take a while.
Yeah, and he's done a couple of avoidable. Had a couple of avoidable double dips. So different philosophies from our runners. Humbugh is going to go for hammerless ice. Kappa's going to go ahead and rescue the smith and probably turn in purple chest.
Seems entirely legit.
Kappa will be done with this smith chain faster than Humbugh will be done with ice, so it might end up both in ice shortly.
Now, with the smith chain, with the purple chest ending where it does, is there any chance PlasmaKappa, tries to route Swamp into that? like the front of swamp.
Wouldn't be unreasonable. We've seen a few seeds this tournament where that first check in swamp has just been really overpowered. And it's 2 items here because we do have the small key.
I mean, I don't think we've done K45 either, or at least
yeah, and that's why he's not just floating away with the purple chest. We'll know for sure what his intentions after purple chest are right now, because he's gonna mirror for K45. We'll see what this is.
I also think Kappa has not done the dig spot, so probably gonna take care of that as well.
Yeah, very possibly. Rupees at K45. We are past the need for money. He's going to go back into the mirror portal, so this could be the dig spot check. And maybe, I don't recall if both of them checked it or not. Yeah, if you're going to do the mirror for the dig spot, you do need to keep the purple chest, though.
Good call.
But can mirror here and leave it for a second, run up, dig, and then pick it up again.
And good call with the walking a bit before dashing, so the mirror's portal is no longer in your way. And then he's going to leave the purple chest
now he's
behind
leaving
so he
it.
can mirror.
So this means that we're not doing... Well, no, he could still go back into the mirror portal and go into swamp if he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
So far, not a whole lot going on in Ice Palace, but there's still a few more locations that we have available. Not purple chest. And going back into the portal, this is going to be a 2-chest swamp play.
Yep.
I mean,
I don't hate this play because... Oh, well...
No? Oh, no, Pyramid Fairy. We have Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, yeah, huh.
Which, if we've already had 3 reasons why Aga 1 was required, can we go for 4 if the hammer were on in Pyramid Fairy? Because logically, if you don't have hammer, you need the Aga kill to do this.
Did we happen to find like all the small keys for Skullwoods?
Maybe, but there's still there's still places they could be that aren't behind the hammer, so we did find at least 1 for sure. There's a Meyer small key, which we don't care about because we've already seen the left side of Meyer and it doesn't have anything.
All right, Pyramid Fairy.
The answer's not ice.
Compass of Eastern and Cane of Samaria.
Oh, that's a nice
hot
find.
dang.
That doesn't actually logically open a thing because we can't get into Turtle Rock and we need a big key of Meyer to do something with it. But when PlasmaKappa does Ice Palace, he gets a freer Ice Palace and he gets 1 extra check.
Mm-hmm. Though at this point, it is looking disturbingly like a Swamp Palace hammer is in our future.
Yeah, because this extra check that Kappa's getting will not be a hammer. It could be any other number of nice things, though.
Pod big key chest, that's also a possibility. Jesus.
Yep, that pod. We have all 6 pod smalls. It's in logic, so that could be a thing.
Honestly, I think, given the fact that I have all those pod smalls, I might be tempted to go there before swamp.
Well, I think
if I got the hammer, there, that'd be great. 1, because I could finish pod, and 2, it would make the swamp dip a 1.
Right, now I think Humbug's actually going to check swamp here, because having already done ice...
Seems likely.
It makes a little more sense to route that in. And what do we get here?
Ether.
Okay. Ether, which we don't need.
Whole lot of useless.
Whole lot of nothing. Because I think we're down to, and chat, please do correct me if I'm missing anything. We're down to those 2 swamp checks and the pod check. There's really nothing else. Just a little unfortunate that the routing of Humbug. I mean, I could have seen Kappa going into Swamp Palace when he did the Smith Chain. Chose not to. Humbug might also do the Pyramid Fairy first as well, which would put him in less of a position to do Swamp. So we'll see what happens here. But Humbug, having done a little bit more, makes it a little more enticing to check those 2 items. Yeah, that's exactly where he's headed, because he can do Pyramid Fairy right after. And it's just so hard to get back here. You have to either go from the portal at the pyramid, or you have to go through the portal at Kakariko, because again, no hammer.
All right, PlasmaKappa is gonna hit the flute. Where are we going?
Yeah, this is gonna be Swamp. Just gonna be a little less efficient than the way Humbug did it, but Humbug still has to do Pyramid Fairy. Like, the efficiency of this route for Humbug is pretty nice, because you do these 2 checks in Swamp, then you do Pyramid Fairy, and then you get to Pod, which looks like
Lord.
it's gonna be the answer. Sad fact, though, it doesn't actually have to be the hammer.
True.
Could be a big key for something else.
It's a book.
Oh, that's mean.
You're not wrong, but that doesn't make it less correct. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, Humbug's not even going to do Pyramid Fairy. Is going to need to do that at some point. No, wait. No. He is doing it. Okay, he's got to run down. Here's just another no good way. Nope. I'm wrong again. Is not doing Pyramid Fairy. That could be problematic. If this is the hammer, when do you get back to Pyramid Fairy for that cane?
I don't know. But I'm pretty sure Humbug is keeping track of them small keys for Skull Wood, so he knows it's not in logic yet.
Yeah, that could be.
Given the fact that he's basically checked everything else, right?
But on the other hand, this could just looks like we have 2 go with small.
Right. He never checked the bomb shop either, so he doesn't.
He might not even
know that his crystals are 5/6. And when's the last time he checked his actual menu? Right?
Yeah. I mean, I'll go out of my way in these kind of seeds to check to see if I have the red crystals. Okay, so what are we getting here? Is it going to be a hammer? Is it going to be a thing to lead us elsewhere? It is a hammer. Oh my god. So, both runners doing the logical thing of skipping the big key chest and not skipping Harmless Hellway because it's harder to get back there. Where are we going, PlasmaKappa? What have you not done that's not that chest in Pod? Oh, we still okay. I'm gonna ask again. Did I miss a Meyer big key somewhere? Because the cane does not let us do Meyer unless we have the big key.
I think maybe he skipped the Meyer big key chest.
Oh, he's only got 4 on there. Yeah, I must not have done right side. We only have two small keys though for Meyer, so this is not. Is this less? It's also not in logic. So
I thought he found a third one, but he just used one. Maybe I'm making that.
So there's 2 pot keys. We haven't gotten the first one. He has 2 keys there, so might don't.
I mean, Tracker says 2, so I'm gonna go with Tracker.
Left side Meyer, I think the new logic shouldn't affect how many small keys you get over here. The new Meyer logic is just about the big key being over here can now gate small keys. So like if this is so this could be the vanilla Meyer big key based on that new logic. If I'm understanding it correctly, and if it applies to key sanity.
I see. When was this new logic implemented?
Around the time the tournament started, I think.
Okay.
It's what is this big key? Oh, it's the Misery
Get
Mire big key.
out, game.
Oh my god. And this is just a heart container. Okay, save and quit from PlasmaKappa. This will put him on the pyramid, so going to go to pod next. And that's going to be a feels bad for PlasmaKappa. Problem is, Humbug still needs to get the Cane of Samaria. And has other things to do now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're Humbug, you're gonna follow that hammer. You're gonna do Swamp. You're gonna finish Ice. So this might still be advantage Kappa.
Yeah, I mean it's not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, what exactly are we missing now? Right? Thieves Town big key.
Yeah, Thieves big for no mode.
And then like Ice Rod.
Yeah, of course, Ice Rod. Why wouldn't we have an Ice Rod hunt?
So Thieves Big and Ice Rod, I believe, are it.
You even have 3 GT smalls to comfortably clear the basement with no problem, and choices of routing.
Mm-hmm. When you have 3 small keys, it's very hard to screw up a...
Just don't open the front door.
Yeah. Don't open the door between the 2 front windows.
Yeah, whatever you call that door, don't open it.
It's the tear door.
Good to go. Chad asking, can Ice Rod be on ped? It depends on whether TR is a pendant or a crystal. But honestly, Ice Rod on ped is fine because it means like the thing. Ped is not a bad location in AD keys. Ped is in fact a really good location in AD keys because what it does is it guarantees that you don't have to search GT for an item. And in this mode, because the GT big key is always in GT and the Castle Tower small keys are always in Castle Tower, we never have to like those are the 3 items that if they were GT big key would still mean you don't have to search GT.
Anybody notice how Humbug dropped a bomb in the spot where you do it for the for the swamp skip there?
But yeah, the point being that the keys that could get you on ped that still make you go into GT are not going to be irrelevant in this mode. We can do this bomb thing anyway.
Alright, PlasmaKappa now into the Helmosaur fight. Gonna pick up that Mire big key as well.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll go straight back to Mire and finish that off, or if he'll do some of these other checks. Like,
I mean, you gotta go back to Mire anyway.
I kind of like the idea of finishing up Mire, finishing up Ice, then doing Swamp Palace, because Humbug doing these left side plays. I want as much information as I can have before I decide whether to do these particular checks. We get a Mystery Mire small key. Okay. So yeah, the hammer really could not have been on left side Mire with that small key. I think that's Mire 3. With Cane of Samaria doing those dungeons first, because you can do them relatively quickly, makes sense, and then you go do the full clear swamp if you need to. Whereas Humbug, having missed the Cane of Samaria, which is sitting at Pyramid Fairy, makes a lot of sense to do this first in hopes to find Cane of Samaria for those other dungeons. But it looks like Kappa's going to go for the swamp clear right now.
Swamp bait is more like it.
Okay, our tracker is saying that swamp is the last pendant. Yeah, there's a P there, so that is the last pendant.
See, you're... Nah, never mind. I was sitting here like if you want to talk about the weird things I would do, I was thinking like I'd go to Turtle Rock just to be that guy. And I was like, Ice Rod though.
Thieves small, logically required. Thieves small. Good to have that before we go in there. But yeah, the fact that we are going to be able to full clear our pendants before going into GT means that there won't be progression in GT outside having to do the normal big key search. We'll see if Kappa chooses to do or skip left side.
I mean, I wouldn't put the left side skip past him on account of, how much he's already skipped.
Yeah, I mean,
out of the way locations.
He skipped eastern big key chest, which is a quicker check than left side swamp.
However,
but on the other hand,
is 2 checks. So
it's 2 checks and a little harder to get back to. Actually, they're both horrible to get back to. Swamp really didn't have much of anything. We also don't have the big key, and I've myself have started to get into the habit of waiting on the swamp big key before doing left side, with the idea that gives me 3 items to go back for if the big key decides to show up. The fact that he's doing this compass check tells me that he's probably not going to do left side, because it is a little bit faster to do this check after left side. However, even if I'm doing left side, I typically don't do this just because I will forget to do it otherwise. Okay, Humbugh gonna head over to ice, which makes sense because, yeah, it kind of sucks to have to do this without Kane and Samaria, but at least you can.
And it does look like PlasmaKappa is currently skipping left side.
Yep, could go back in. So good for him if he does.
Has the
if he skips this,
being able to use the cane here instead of the
bomb setup. Yeah, if he so chooses, he can go back in. We'll see if he does, but may just wait on a big key or may just never go back in. We know he doesn't need to go back in. There was nothing required there. I think it was 20 rupees in the Meyer Small.
Mm-hmm.
The Meyer Small is only for a logical, accessible thing that he's already done. But is also going to gain time in Ice Palace and Humbugh for having the cane. But Humbugh's showing us why the Ice Palace bomb jump's still important tech. As I often like to say, you do not want to do this dungeon the developer intended way. Cat asking where the Meyer Big was. It was on Helmasaur, behind the 6 key locked hammer in Big Key Chest.
Thanks a lot, game.
Yep.
Alright, so Humbugh picking up the H room here in a second.
And the other reason why you might do Ice Palace here is it does give you the ped pull.
There is that, as well as the Sahasrala check.
Dang, we have to go back to that area again?
I know, right? Now, PlasmaKappa, on the other hand, having the cane here, can go directly for the right-hand side. Honestly, you could even skip hitting the switch just because you have both small keys and the big one.
Yeah, you can skip the switch. It's in this scenario, it's probably even because you're going out of your way to hit the switch, or you're going out of your way to go through the other room.
Right.
Whereas in a full clear situation, it just depends on where the big key is. So it's usually going to be faster to not hit the switch if the big key is on path, but if you have to go all the way to Iced Tea, there's a good chance it's going to be slower. If you unnecessarily have to get the big key in Iced Tea, that's when it's slower. But some players will just always hit the switch because muscle memory is a thing, And if you always hit the switch, you'll never accidentally not hit it when like in this situation. If you don't have the big key, you better hit that switch.
All right, it's cold stare o'clock for Humbug. Getting some nice.
Yeah, very nice cold stare fight.
Spin the double dash.
Nice prize. Not a required prize, but we're not going to turn down that half magic. So, interestingly enough, we do have 4 Turtle Rock small keys. The answer could just be Turtle Rock. Now, Humbug, again, can't do it. Kappa, I mean, I think the argument for doing Turtle Rock is item density versus the attempt to do these other dungeons first to maybe get the Ice Rod, so you can get, and/or the Thieves' Town Big Key.
I think you really do want to do Misery Mire first.
I would too.
Just because it's a actually full clearable situation,
yep.
We have to do it anyway. But I would have considered doing Turtle Rock before coming into Swamp or Ice, just because you want to be that guy who can go mode some dungeons.
I think we're gonna get the ped pull.
Good out of it, yeah. Yeah, pedestal pull is happening. What's it gonna be? We are looking for the Ice Rod and the Thieves' Town Big Key.
Yeah, if I'm Kappa, I'm just going right now and just finishing off Mire. It's a very quick dungeon. Checking the big chest doesn't even take you off path very far. Whereas Humbug doing the ped check and the green pendant turn in first makes a lot of sense. Everybody's favorite.
There we go.
He's not going to read it, though.
Is this a paradox? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we got a book on ped, which may or may not lead to anything. And Humbug is like, you know what? I'm going to follow this book. This could be my Canis Samaria.
Yeah, what if Thieves' Town Big Key is on one of them and Ice Rod is on the other? That would be like...
that'd be crazy. Now, I mean, Kappa's gonna get that book.
Oh, absolutely.
And unless we have exactly Thieves' Town Big Key and Ice Rod as these last 2 checks in Mire, which, what are the odds?
About the same as having them on both tablets.
Oh, pedestals, right? Yeah. Yeah, just 10 arrows. Dream is dead.
Oh! Thieves' Town Big Key
Thieves Big.
in the big chest of Mire.
Okay, so we're now down to a good old-fashioned Ice Rod hunt. Which means it's possible that Kappa doesn't might not actually get that book. Because we're going to finish Mire, and then we're going to go finish Thieves' Town. And Thieves' Town could have the Ice Rod.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't, you're going to be right in the area to do both the ped check and you could do hammer pegs. So I would do hammer pegs, and then if that doesn't pay out for an Ice Rod, I maybe pull ped. And then I'm probably just headed to Turtle Rock and hoping that the Ice Rod's there. I've got all four small keys. So that's a lot of checks.
All right, Humbug does appear to be heading for...
This could be Pyramid Fairy.
Bombos tablet.
No, this is Bombos, and then you do
Bombos
because you just pulled Ed. But I'm hoping that he'll do Pyramid Fairy after this.
Assuming he recognizes the fact that he's got 5-6.
Yeah.
PlasmaKappa, you're actually a little high on that spooky shot there.
And what do we got? Nothing. So the book was just bait. What a horrible book. So that makes it, so PlasmaKappa maybe a little less likely to get that book now, because a little more likely the Ice Rod's going to be in one of these other locations that he's going to get to first. But hey, we had the fun book on the pad.
It was certainly fun for the audience. Let's put it that way.
Sure was. And this is going to be Pyramid Fairy for Humbug, 'cause I'm not sure he has anything else left. I'm also not... I don't think he meant to buy the bombs. But we got bombs and we got a big bomb. So this cane will send Humbug back to Misery Mire, and we'll finish it. So Kappa, I mean, I imagine that he does do hammer pegs, but I'm not sure he will pull ped at this point. It is a little out of the way. You've got a full clearable other than Trinex, Turtle Rock in front of you.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing we're doing here is Thieves Town. That's
Absolutely.
After Thieves Town, if you don't have the Fire Rod, maybe, or sorry, the Ice Rod, maybe you go over to Hammer Pegs.
Hammer Pegs is close enough that I think you do it. I'm not sure. The other two checks he has are Ped and Green Pendant. 50-50 on whether you do Ped. Green Pendant is kind of out of the way, so it would not surprise me if that gets skipped. This will be a similarly quick Misery Mire for Humbug.
Yep. In which you will, of course, pick up the big key to Thieves Town.
Yep. I mean, Humbug really needs Kappa at this point to do those other checks.
Yeah, so right now I would say that Kappa is kind of in the lead here. It's a tenuous one, but it is a lead.
Now, is there anything that we haven't checked that isn't Turtle Rock between the two runners? I mean, are we just looking at an ice rod that's just sitting there, and if it's not here in Thieves Town or Hammer Pegs, are we just looking at an ice rod that has to be in Turtle Rock?
Yeah, that or lock behind one of the fetch quests.
Yeah, because the game could just have another joke for us and give us powder or mushroom. That's always fun. Yes, Hammer Pegs, I believe, is the only other location outstanding after Kappa does Thieves Town here. We've seen Spike Cave, Ped Pole, and Green Pendant from Humbug. For those of you that missed it, we got a cute little book on the Ped, which was a bunch of bait.
Yeah, I guess the Hera small key counts as another.
Yeah, it does. You're right. Pod is full cleared though. So the pod is as full cleared gets. With our hammer behind 6 small keys in the big key chest, because the game wants to be funny.
And there's Humbug pulling off the spooky to save some time there. We get a GT small in the big.
I mean, the Hera small key could just be sitting in GT because it doesn't do anything logically for actual bosses. Swamp Palace big chest, same thing with the Swamp big key. It could also be in GT. Yeah, the Hera Small and the Swamp Big are what I like to call fetch quest keys. Because they just open up the one thing. It's looking like it's not Thieves Town, though.
We've got blind left here. As opposed to blind right.
And it's not Thieves Town. Not really a big surprise, because that wasn't where... I mean, the density is at Turtle Rock. I personally would like to see Hammer Pegs. But we'll see.
Very strongly consider going to Hammer Pegs here.
I mean, you're never going to be closer to it.
Yeah, it looks like that might be the case here.
Well, chat asking is PlasmaKappa in the lead, pending the Ice Rod location.
Yeah, basically, as long as PlasmaKappa doesn't try to go back to some of the weird locations he left around,
Yep.
And goes to Turtle Rock looking for it.
Yeah, as
He's
far
gonna
as we
be
can tell.
In good shape, yeah.
Yeah, because as far as we can tell, the only thing left is Turtle Rock, and he's just going. There's a few one-offs that Kappa has not done that Humbug has done. So, Humbug pulled Ped for a book that led to nothing. Green Pendant Turret-In was nothing. Spike Cave was nothing. Eastern Big Key Chest was nothing.
But yeah, if there's one thing, one
Left side swamp was
particular
nothing.
way I would describe PlasmaKappa's play in this particular run, it would be with a great degree of aggression, right?
Mhm.
Just getting rid of those out of the way checks that might not pay off. Trying real hard to avoid doing anything that could let you save time. And it's all justifiable skips, you know what I mean? Like, nothing is surprising about the skips that
No.
PlasmaKappa did.
Okay, so what is it? 11 locations before Trinex. Which one's gonna have the ice rod, or are we gonna find a fetch quest item to take us out of the dungeon? Go ahead and put your guesses in chat. And we have a compass here, so I'm starting to think of the GT compass in particular as the commentator's helper, because it lets us count the big key.
The big key of Skull
Oh, their
Wood.
first fetch quest!
That's
oh,
a fetch
no,
item.
That is a fetch
Oh
item.
my god! You remember what I called like
I think you
2
did.
hours ago?
Why? Why, Bob?
I mean, I did say that because we had the Fire Rod and Ice Rod cave. Could definitely have the Ice Rod
Yeah.
where the Fire Rod's supposed to be. Just
Interestingly
saying.
enough, those... Not that I would expect him to take it, but any of these fetch quests could be an out for Humbug if he were to follow it. But that's such a risk. Fetch
Speaking
quest
of-
2! Fetch quest 2!
I mean, technically that could be Fetch Quest 2 and 3.
Yeah, but you're not gonna look... I mean, the Ice Rod... I mean, in PlasmaKappa's case, yeah, the Ice Rod has other locations it could be. But... certainly for Humbug, you're not going to fake powder when you know the answer has to lie in Turtle Rock. He'll also
I mean,
do
I
hammer pegs here.
might just given the fact that this thing's being so fetch questy, I would expect the powder to give me the mushroom, or I mean, the mushroom to give me the powder, just to be that guy. Hey, was that our helper that we just picked up?
Yeah, well, that looks like that was a compass, and I guess that was the Ganon's Tower compass. So yeah, our commentator helper. And we do have all 4 small keys, so the big key chest is available.
All right, we got a piece of
Nice
heart
refill.
there in the middle chest. Does get the refill, and Humbug is following PlasmaKappa into Turtle Rock.
Well, Humbug, I don't believe, has another choice.
Right.
Because it's already done all the things. Now we're gonna do Mimic Cave, not gonna do the strat that says go open the big chest first in case you can skip Mimic Cave. Another piece of heart.
Still hoping to find that ice rod just sitting in here somewhere, but the number of checks is dwindling.
Would not have saved time doing the big chest first. You're down to 5 more. Now, if we have to go for the fetch quest, if you're PlasmaKappa, what are you doing first?
Well, honestly, if I'm PlasmaKappa, I'm doing Skullwood's big chest into the pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only because I predicted that the Skullwood big chest would have the ice rod.
So I like the go to, because the mushroom turn-in is, because you have the flute and the mushroom turn-in is so quick, I think I would do the mushroom first.
Mm-hmm.
And then do the Skullwood's big chest. Because I'm thinking, like, you have those other locations all available, but my thinking is, you know, if it's in those locations, Humbugh already got them, and he'd be right, but it's not in those locations. Okay, 2 more chances.
Oh,
And
there it is. That's gonna render all of our discussion
irrelevant.
moot. Thank goodness. I don't actually wish that sort of fetch quest shenanigans on
Oh,
our runners.
no, of course not. This could be within extreme big key routing, but by extreme I mean a tile room gamble that pays out, which rarely does.
It is, you know, the margin here is still within the margin of like really good execution and routing within GT. So, like, this is not a foregone conclusion at all. However, at the conclusion of this boss fight, it will be time to guess where you think the big key is in Ganon's tower.
I'm just a little sad because we have to now. We're going to be. I mean, not that the Kappa's MSU is. Actually, I don't know what it is. But I was really enjoying the music on Humbugh's side.
Some sort of Kirby thing, I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's right. It was. Yeah, that's right. Kirby something. Kirby Star Allies.
The people who could tell the Kirby soundtracks apart, I salute you.
The funny part, I mean, I don't know if funny is the right word, but this race, I mean, it looked like, for the most part, I mean, Humbugh was being more thorough, but for the most part, I think his routing was more efficient until he didn't do Pyramid Fairy. And that was the Canis Samaria, which allowed Kappa to take this lead.
All right,
there's a map we don't care about.
Map.
That is a pendant map, which actually tells us that PED couldn't have been the answer, because maps and compasses are logical. They can't be, crystal maps can't be in GT. And if we need something from PED, the pendant maps can't be there either. Not particularly relevant in this mode. There's another fetch quest. We are not going to need that Hera small key.
Alright, PlasmaKappa going with Ether Strats to take down those Stalfos as we head
Yeah, this is interesting. I don't
left
see...
side.
Is anybody know if Kappa's a rando rusher? Because this is looking like it might be a rando rush. Which is,
Well, with
I
all
think
4 keys, it's...
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
And if you're going for like most checks in a short amount of time, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, the rando rush strength is you get all these checks very quickly. The weakness is you could just be in big trouble if the answer is just Hope Room.
The other thing is, if all 4 keys are available, it is ever so slightly more likely that the big key is in compass room than it is in rando room.
Okay.
Yeah, Jebaited with the swamp big key.
Yeah, humbug also of note. Maybe looking for silvers. Did check all of Laser Bridge. Here's our powder, which is a nice item.
Yeah, not bad to find on the way up.
There we go. Big key to this dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
That was number 9.
Is out of here.
Thank you, commentator helper. No, because he's got 9. Oh, 10 because of the torch. We have to add the torch, so it's still a commentator's helper. You know, we still have to count the torch.
I mean, people call that the rando rush. You know what I call that? I call that the way you used to do it.
But
that was the route. That was the standard route for years and years, and then people started.
Yeah, but you didn't.
To the right side.
You didn't mirror out though. You would have kept going, right? In the old days.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, now we'll never know unless we ask if Kappa had intended to mirror out after rando room.
Yeah, I am the old man here, so there you go.
And Humbug gonna start out on the left side as well. Yeah, and Humbug is going to do the more standard Dark Magician strats.
Mm-hmm.
Could find silvers, maybe. Curious if we find anything useful over here. I mean, at this point, silvers is the only thing left. We know where gold sword is, and both runners decided to skip it.
Well,
and there they are. Unfortunately, those silvers are not going to be enough to turn the tide for Humbug unless something really weird happens to Kappa.
Yeah, it would be a heck of a comeback at this point. Got entire minutes between them at this point. That means if the current result holds, we will be going for a game 3 later.
We like game 3s.
Yes, and they have actually already scheduled their third game on the schedule. That's going to be on 2 days from now at the same time.
Saturday at noon. Meanwhile, Kappa in the Aga 2 fight. And hey, we don't have to do Castle Tower now, so that's happy. We've already done it.
And there we go. Humbug grabs that big key right as Aga 2 goes down for PlasmaKappa. So having completed Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower, it's time for the fight. I mean, look, you're not going to argue with the pig who wants food, all right? That's the thing. Do not stand between a
We
pig
need a
man
meat shop.
and his pork. Or, wait.
Yeah, we need a meat shop. But that's in a different game.
Oh, Z1.
Okay, I was about to ask Ganon to stop warping because that was quite a few warps there.
All right,
Some of us found the arrows in your tower.
PlasmaKappa getting a free first spin there on Ganon. You got to do several more of those. We need precisely 9 more.
12 total.
Mhm. If you wait till right there, yeah, right when Ganon's about to land, you can get 3 in per torch cycle. So now we're down to needing 4, I believe. My count is correct.
There we go.
Down goes Ganon. An all dungeons key seed completed here with an official race time.gg time of 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 47 seconds. Congratulations to PlasmaKappa on that run. And as we can see here, a few seconds later, Humbug went ahead and called it a race. And so we will probably be joined by both runners shortly. And in fact,
Yep, there they are. GG's, guys.
GG, Kappa.
Kappa.
All right. So welcome, PlasmaKappa. We don't quite hear you just yet, but
If you're
congratulations.
talking, you're not lighting up or...
Oh, there it goes.
There
we
we
are.
go.
Yay.
GG's. This thing.
GG's, dude.
Yeah, that was quite the seed. It had quite a few tricks up its sleeve.
So I could tell PlasmaKappa that you kind of felt like you needed to make some plays here that were otherwise, if you were trying to be real thorough, you might not have done. But things like skipping the eastern big key chest, skipping left side swamp, things like that, where you're just like, no.
I mean, I second to last located my hammer, so I was just dead. But I keep playing, so
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll just not do these.
Yeah, the hammer spot was interesting because by the time Humbug, who got to it first, got there, we had seen everything from both of you. But the key moment was actually you picking up the Canis Samaria before the hammer. And I believe, Humbug, you hard last located it.
Yes. And it pains me to say this, but that was completely my own fault because I forgot the fact that, hey, there are 2 red crystals somewhere.
Yeah, we did notice
I
you
wonder
did.
if I have those. Oh,
We did
Sure
notice
enough.
great. I sure
PlasmaKappa
hope
did
Samaria
check.
isn't there.
PlasmaKappa did actually check what those 2 crystals were in the bomb shop, whereas you decided not to do so, and so we were wondering if you had actually remembered the 5-6 crystals or not.
Yeah.
Like
Also-
I usually never check the bomb shop in 80 keys, but I tend to like check my menu
Yes.
every once in a
Yeah,
while.
that's what I
Yeah.
do.
But this time, like the fact that the fact that the hammer was in pod and not in Pyramid Fairy
Mhm.
was like, imagine it wasn't in Pyramid Fairy and I just went to pod and there was nothing there.
Yeah. Then what?
I would have just stopped in my tracks and been like, all right, well, I missed something. But I think I got lucky, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Also, damn it.
Shout outs to your screen here with the. Thank you for showing that off because it's always fun.
You're welcome. So when I got the book off of PED, I just figured this is one that Twitch chat will talk about for ages, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. With that beautiful logic for hammer, and then this book on PED.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could have been the ice rod, even because by the time you got the book, we were still looking for the ice rod, which decided to be stupid as well.
Yep. You know, I still had some overworld checks to do.
Yeah, I think in the end, you had the ped, the green pendant, left side swamp, eastern big chest or big key chest, like a bunch of one-offs that who wants to do those. And then of course we're talking about by the time you both were in Turtle because Humbugh had basically full cleared, we knew that the ice rod either had to be there or had to be behind something in there. And the first 2 items you get were Skullwood's big key and a mushroom. I'm just like, oh my god.
I was serious, like I knew I was losing at that point, because I knew I screwed up, not with a hammer, but with Kane. I was seriously considering just mirror out after the mushroom and just check those 2.
Mm-hmm. I think that would have been a reasonable thing to do at that point.
I know.
Oh.
I don't have the mental stability to do that. Like also I don't have the mental stability to do a tile room in GT, even though that kind of would have been a play here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have.
That's why I was gonna do that. I was gonna do that, mirror out to the right side. Oh, I'm losing anyway. Let's do tile room. It's a keys mode. Doesn't really make sense to mirror back and forth when you have 4 keys. So I just went to rando room.
Mm-hmm. Now, were you doing a full-on rando rush? Would you mirror it out if the big key wasn't there, or would you gone all the way to the back?
I would have mirrored out at the rando room.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that. And of course, I actually was thinking the hammer in Pyramid Fairy because we already had we had 3 reasons to do Aga because we ended up needing it for Dark World, we needed it for the myths, and we needed it because just the rules of this mode say we need it, right?
Yeah.
And then we almost had the hammer in there to make it the 4th reason why you might, because the 4th and almost never happens reason to do Aga.
Yeah, this was. I think this goes in the pile of stupid seeds in general.
Yep.
We could definitely put this in the Hall of Dumb. I think we need a Hall of Dumb. That's what we need. We need just a Hall of Dumb for the best seeds of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And by best, I mean
this.
This is right up there. I want to say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure is. Terabytes worth by now.
Yeah. Indeed.
All right. So we get a game 3 on Saturday at noon.
Saturday. Yes.
What are you all hoping for? We won't be playing 80 keys, and I guess. What was your first game? I mean, I know that's still possible, but
Inversion.
So Inversion probably not going to happen, but I suppose
that depends on whether Clear Mouse is on comms or not.
Oh, okay.
If she is, then it's Ambrosia. If she's not, then anything can happen.
Okay, so Clear Mouse, if you're listening, find out if they want Ambrosia and sign up if they do.
And if there's only one card, I'm assuming you're getting that one too, because today this was 1 out of 10.
It's either this was 1 out of 10. So
yep.
but it's got to be either Standard Boots or McBoss, right?
You would
Yeah.
think.
I think so.
Because, yeah, McBoss was showing 4 cards today.
Yes.
So, and any personal preference? Do you like McBoss? Do you like Standard Boots? I think Standard Boots is a popular one. I think McBoss a little less so.
I've only done one Standard Boots, and McBoss can die in a fire. So please give me Standard Boots, and I'm good.
I'll go with McBoss. I
No,
like
dude.
meme mode. Look, man, give you a pair of boots. You're
Don't
gonna
do this
speed
to
on.
me. It's gonna put ice rod on catfish and Rhinox in decline. We all know it.
I mean, we all saw that qualifier seed.
Yes.
But Humbug, I imagine, did you play that seed or no?
No, thank
But
God.
you're because if you
I
miss the
heard
ice
about it.
rod, yeah, because if you miss the ice rod, there's no way you were getting that #1 seed. If
Yeah.
if you played that.
I know the bar isn't very high for this, but that was the seed that made Jem just realize that he didn't want to play the tourney. And I was like, all right, that must have been bad. But also, yes, I know the bar isn't very high for that, so sure.
Funny. All right. Anything else either of you wants to add before we go ahead and close this out?
No, just huge thanks for the restream and both of you on comms and tracking and all of that. And GG again, Kappa, and I'll see you Saturday.
GG's Humbug. Thank you all for the production. I think we've seen everything out of this seed.
All right. Once again, thank you to both of our runners, Humbug and PlasmaKappa, for putting on an excellent show today. If you want to, and you should want to, you should probably give these runners a follow. And you should probably give Kappa some help. I don't know how. Anyway, also thank you to Pichu, our tracker, especially given the adversity with which the tracker treated us today. Thanks for putting up with that. And of course, my co-commentator, Tracy M., thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, always a pleasure, Bob. But yeah, that's going to pretty much do it for us. We do have one more race on the schedule today over on this channel, right here on this channel at 6 o'clock, 6:10. With the delay, we have Mr. Ed 3 versus Breadcun. So good luck to those guys, and definitely you'll want to tune in for that one. And otherwise, have a good rest of your day.
Good night, everybody.